My impression about Muaro Jambi, I saw the ancient Nalanda, the lineage of the ancient Nalanda tradition there. And of course, I feel the blessings of our profound and extensive lineage of the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, in particularly the tradition that came down through Lama Atisha, which is very much by the blessing of his root guru, Lama Selingpa. And Muaro Jambi is his the central learning center, very much under the guidance of Selingpa. So it is one of my dreams from long time to visit Muaro Jambi and all the holy places in the footsteps of Lama Selingpa, Lama Atisha. But I think it requires tremendous merit to be able to fulfill that aspiration. And I regard that this time my aspirations are fulfilled and really deepen, my practice in the lineage of the Bodhicitta. So I think the legacy of these great masters and which is the teaching, the altruistic dharma, altruistic wisdom and altruistic attitude, the Bodhisattva's attitude, I think is one of the most needed element of learning, practice and cultivation in this time in the world, where the world is very much afflicted by egoic ambitions, self-centered ambitions, and a lot of conflicts, a lot of pollutions in the nature. So I think the altruistic blessing or altruistic wisdom and the knowledge is more than ever, I think, needed. And if everybody come together to preserve that knowledge through learning, practice, I think the world will be much more better. So that I see the impact even just by visiting the place. And I hope that many more people, basically not just a Buddhist, but anybody can visit there. It is really a wonderland, and it is profound energy and impacting positive energy I felt. So that way I think how that I was kind of boost my aspiration in my altruistic practice. Similarly, I think anyone who visit there will have the same impact. Maybe that is also one of the way to carry out the legacy of these great masters of hard work. I think there's a mutual influence. The Nalanda University, the one of the earliest university in this world, in this conventional world, where there is great learning of the five signs. And from there, many great masters have visited here in Muaro Jambi. And from Muaro Jambi, the great learning center, the one of the sign that the influence that carry from Nalanda University in India or Bikamasila University in India is the study of the five signs, and in particularly the inner signs of the mind. And you can also find the evidence that Selingpa, who is Indonesian, great learned scholar and the yogic, the master, who in fact is a lineage holder of this altruistic practice, for bodhicitta lineage. And Atisha, one of the founding of the Kadamba lineage, visited Muaro Jambi, studied with Lama Selingpa, practiced for 12 years. And when he went back to India, all the greatness of the what you have in Muaro Jambi also influenced back to India in Nalenda's culture.
Yeah.
Then, of course, that definitely influenced the Tibetan Buddhist culture, because Tibetan Buddhists, they very much about 1,000 years from now, since then, which was very much the Atisha played the main role of influencing, Tibetan Buddhist Mahayana tradition, and which one of the highlighted teaching that which now shine through the intact, preservation of legacy by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama and all the great other masters of the fourth tradition that spread all over the world. And now the legacy and the lineage of Lama Selingpa and Lama Atisha is, spread all over the world. And that you can say the influence came from Muaro Jambi. The Buddhism that shared by the Tibetan masters, which is based on the lineage of the Nalanda masters, like such as Nalanda 17 masters, Nagarjuna, Dharmakirti, Shantideva, and Lama Atisha, and especially Lama Atisha serve, very much the root master to all the Lamrim practices of all the traditions, which is we call the gradual path to enlightenment. Whatever name that you may pronounce from different tradition, but the essence is the practice of three principal aspects of the path. The training and the wisdom that guides from the very beginning to all the way up to the stage of enlightenment. And that very much the influence that carry out, mainly the Nalanda University, Bhikkhamashila, and the Selingpas, the university in Muaro Jambi. So these play a great role. And Atisha, of course, the altruistic Dharma and the great altruistic wisdom is very much the message that His Holiness Dalai Lama and all the Tibetan masters share around the world, and which carry the element, not just the religious aspect, but it also carry profound philosophy. It also carry profound science, and also it is a perfect guide for the betterment way of life of human individuals. And of course, if individuals are interested, there's also an element of religious practice. So very much the Buddhism or the Buddha Dharma, starting from Shakyamuni Buddha's founding, and all these lineage holders, from Nagarjuna to Selingpa to Atisha up to now the His Holiness Dalai Lama, very much harmonious for the universal needs. The wisdom and the attitude that what they cultivate, or in another word, the wisdom and the practice that Tibetan Buddhism practice is very much harmonious with anybody's needs. If you are not interested in Buddhism, the religious aspect of Tibetan Buddhism, you can pursue the greatness of the science, the mind science, or philosophy, or just betterment of the way of life. Oh, I see. Definitely, it's connected. It is really intertwined, and there's a great influence, each other, very much, I think comes from the same altruistic inspiration, to very much have many relics, around the island, which can inspire for any living beings freedom, peace, unity, happiness, liberation, enlightenment. So I see same essence in so many different aspects of blessings all over Indonesia, like such as Borobudur, such as Mandu Temple, and the rest of the other holy places, including those holy places in the Jambi. So such as like Borobudur Stupa is the representations of the greatest heart of enlightenment, which is represent Buddha's mind. And Buddha's mind is the most profound mind, most altruistic mind, most beneficial mind.
Yeah.
And when we do pilgrimage, the illustration of that enlightened mind in object, like such as those different the artistic figures or the different external material characteristic, which you can able to see them directly, feel them, read them, try to understand them, and especially the impact, the imprint that you receive gradually will be digest and result within your system as a realization of those meanings, like which we call the spiritual path. So therefore, pilgrimage is so important. Those are the benefit, and also pilgrimage is also one of very important practice of preservation of those monuments, those teachings, those symbolisms. In other words, the pilgrimage, through visiting these holy monuments and holy places, is very much you are preserving the holy body, speech, and mind of the Divine One, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You see, so it's very much like pilgrimage is like a meditation. You are going into retreat. You are going into a meditation practice. You are going into extensive learning practice, extensive contemplation practice. And learning, contemplation, meditation are the only way bring about preservations of the Dharma or preservations of the goodness of anything. So therefore, the pilgrimage is something that never forget to do and should do. And pilgrimage is something that just by doing once is not good enough. Even though it's the same place, same narration, same significance, we have to do pilgrimage until we realize the actual essence of the holy places within your own continuum as a resultant holy places or holy beings within. As very much like in order to actualize the ultimate benefit of learning Buddha Dharma, just studying is not good enough. Just contemplation is not good enough. The study of Buddha Dharma accomplished only when you realize the path, the essence that which deliver from the word of the teaching. So that goes similar. So we have to do pilgrimage repeatedly until you gain its essence within you. Ultimately, everything is interdependently existent. Nothing is independently or inherently existent. So also the blessing of the Buddha in us has to be established through the interdependent contribution from the both sides. So Buddha's contribution is ever present, all pervasive, without any discrimination to all. But we, the receiver of the blessing, also need to present the pure vessel to be able to pour the blessing onto it. If we put the vessel ourselves upside down, even there's overflowing nectar is there, the nectar won't receive it, isn't it? So therefore, we ourselves have to put effort, and one of them is, doing pilgrimage and studying them and meditating on them and applying to our day-to-day life. Now, as far as concerned with the chatra, I'm very so as far as concerned with the Borobudur, to be adorned with its crown, which is the chatra, I deeply find that it is extremely essential and important. Just a simple example, as a human being, if we have the whole body but if we don't have a head, we cannot function fully as a human being. And others cannot relate us fully as a human being. Others cannot able to communicate fully as a human being. You see, if the house is without roof, the house cannot provide the full meaning of becoming house. The people, who take shelter from that house, you won't receive the full protection because of there's no roof. This is simple example which you don't need any smart wisdom to understand. Even little children, when they make a Lego house, they will make sure that it's crowned by a roof. So now we as adult people, we as at least we had some education training, and especially as a Buddhist, who really understand, if you have studied well all the descriptions of how stupa look like, how mandala look like, you refer to the text. Everything is completed with it is crown, or it is roof, or it is head. You see, so therefore, it is so obvious. The Borobudur, the central main stupa, it is very much like the on top is like a chop off. But you can see rest of the other small stupa, you still see the crown because it's like kind of like that. It's complete. But the main stupa in the center is like completely chopped off. And it is so obvious. So even if you just present your common sense, you will see that something is missing. And what is missing is just the crown is missing. And such monument like Borobudur Stupa is object of our inspiration, object of blessing. It is the home of all the divine beings. That's called mandala. It is the representations of the most complete of entire quality mind, which is called the Buddha spine. If you want to regard Borobudur as a stupa, then it represents, from the Buddhist teaching point of view, it represents Buddha's omniscient heart. And without the crown, is incomplete. The representation, isn't it? If you regard Borobudur as a mandala, then again it is incomplete because there's no crown or there's no roof. So therefore, in order to fulfill the ultimate benefit of this representation of Buddha's mind, or the stupa, or Buddha's house, the mandala, to we living being, if the mandala or the stupa is complete, I not only aspire the Borobudur stupa to have a crown, I even aspire all the broken statues to be also restored. All the statue missing head, I believe definitely it exists in this world. And I believe it is not under the ground. I think whatever human being's curiosity to dig down, I think you have already dig in so deep. Now, if it exists, it may be existing in the museums, it will be existing in the antique shops, or it will be just held by some innocent people which don't know where it is coming from, what is the value. And now come to an era that many different countries, they are actually retrieving their own relics from other countries, which are some stolen before or some sold. But now people wake up from that loss and now they're retrieving. So some of the country you must have heard, like even India, some of the country, many of great relics are in overseas and they asked to return. And there are quite a number of museums, in fact, ready to return those belongings. And I'm an outsider. I'm not Indonesian. I'm just one individual. But I have this, this concern, this attachment, this importance, as if like I am like an Indonesian. Say that you need to get back all this. You restore it. Make all the Buddha's images complete with their own heads. Their missing hands. No question about the chhatra missing of the stupa to restore, but all those missing pieces, every inch, every atom of this holy monument should be restored. And this is not just for Buddhists; it's for any Indonesian. This is your possession. It's not just in the meaning of practice. It is in the meaning of just getting back what you earn. And especially for Buddhist practitioner, I mean, it is so obvious, it's so important. When you go to Borobudur Stupa, for me, I don't know how other people feel. For me, when I look at this incomplete or very much like a loss of the head of the Buddha's statue, I feel so sad. My heart is always get devastated. When I see those monuments display just like the decorative item, I feel devastated, my heart. My heart get broken. And I can't bear. I can't bear that. No question about, people who treasure your asset, especially of this monument is a monument that which has a great meaning to Buddhist practitioners. Doesn't matter whether you are coming from Theravadan tradition, Mahayana tradition, Vajrayana tradition. Doesn't matter whether it's to do with the institution, whether it's to do with the individual practitioner. If I may ask, don't you feel devastated? Don't you feel heartbroken when you go around this monument and looking at the broken statue, the statue with no head, statue with no limbs? Don't you feel devastated? Don't you feel heartbroken? I feel heartbroken. I feel very sad. I feel very incomplete. But so far I never hear anyone voicing out that this missing had to be restored, this missing pieces to be restored. I also see some very kind of like high position practitioners, when they go there, they also just take some pictures and it's like very much everything is okay. It's very much like you are visiting art museum. This is not just art museum. This has a great spiritual symbolism. We need to go beyond the discovery of human historic and written. We have to go beyond the archaeologist's discovery. When we want to really understand the actual meaning of the spiritual representations, to really to understand their significance, we need to go beyond that. We need to really has to meditate. We really need to practice the teaching, and we need to have a very much like a higher wisdom to really to make it complete. Find it is origin, and at the same time make it is completion, arrive to the completion. Because historians as still a human being, archaeologist is still a human being, and we human being, how expert, how qualified you are from any degrees, from any highest universities, we still learn within the very much human design knowledge only. And the spiritual knowledge is much more beyond than that. Spiritual knowledge is almost inconceivable for our ordinary human mind. So this is my personal thinking. I'm not imposing to anybody. I'm not complaining to anybody. This is just complaint to myself. I'm just expressing my inner voice whenever I see these ruins. And sometimes, the caution that I present to whoever is listening to this voice of me is very much like kind of I'm cautioning to myself.